The way I normally mount this moth is with a little pin of wood here, like this. I make them out of cocktail sticks, such as this, which is nice and flexible, often made of bamboo. And I have a drill bit, which is exactly the right size. Now, it's a bit scary boring into your moth, and I find that if I am able to make a little padded surface like that to rest it on, then I'm able to drill into the moth without too much trouble, aiming to get this drill bit at the angle at which I want the pin to look at, to sit at. And notice that I've put some masking tape on the drill bit. What that does, it tells me how deep I'm going. Obviously I don't want to go through to the other side. So once you've bored your hole, it's a little bit of wood glue on the end of the little pin here. Don't need too much. And then set that in there. Give it a little twist to get the glue going. You can wipe off any excess, and that's going to be ready to set. And we can put the other end of the pin obviously into whatever it is we want to mount. Here's another butterfly that I made. Have a look at these antennae here. Look, very thin, very fragile, but just right. This is bamboo. There's nothing quite like it for the strength and the thinness. It's ordinary bamboo, the sort of stuff you can find at a garden centre or in your garden, and I'll show you how I made them now. So you can split the bamboo with a knife straight down the middle and carry on splitting it like so. So the bamboo goes straight down like this. Be careful about your fingers obviously, but you can make a little split like that and split and split again. I find the outside here, this harder crusty part of the bamboo, is actually better than the wood or whatever the material is inside here. So use more of the outside if you can, and you can keep splitting that very carefully. Look, even more, and you keep going down and down until you get very fine antennae. So work your way like this, and then we've got to find a way of, look how thin that is, look. That's split off, peeling off. Look, beautiful. So this is the sort of thing you need to do. So make two the same, and I'll show you how I fit them into the actual butterfly itself, or the moth. You need to bore some holes just here above the eyes where the antennae will go, and so you need some very fine drill bits. Now this one here is one I've made. It's basically a sort of pin with a chisel end, and this one here is an ordinary drill bit that I've actually cut down. So these are quite fine, and I don't even use a drill. I use it just my fingers, and I work this into the direction where I think the antennae will go. So one there, one here, like this. They don't have to be too symmetrical. So we've got our two holes, and then our bamboo. Again, you take a little dip of glue and pop it into the hole like this, and basically leave it to set. So you do one on both sides, whatever length you think you want. Mine are going to be shorter, and even if they were too long, you can always snip that off with scissors. I'm going to use my normal linseed oil to 10% turpentine mix, and simply just brush some of this on onto the wood like this. Let it soak in. Let's see. I would put that all over, including, so I'm letting quite a lot of, including the top and the bottom, and round here, around the end here, the head, around the tail, into the crevices, everywhere. Let that soak in, brush off the excess, and I'd hold it by the pin like this to dry and just finish off a little bit where my fingers are. So very carefully, very gently brush it on. Take off excess by brushing it off onto a rag, and then you can brush it to polish it up afterwards. So look, you can see that lovely yellow colour of this wood coming out here. This is a piece of wood that I found in a hedge. Here's a butterfly that I made before, a moth rather. I've got a little hole drilled in here that matches the peg in the bottom. And so this butterfly, this moth rather, will fit just there. They don't need to be glued. You want to be able to take them off. And there it is.